The Beat of the Bronx, a Yankee podcast with Russ Lichty. Today's episode is brought to you by Your Bronx Dentist. Come meet Dr. Ebby and his team at two convenient locations in the Norwood and Throgs Neck sections of the Bronx. Schedule your next appointment at yourbronxdentist.com. And now, here's Russ.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Episode 27. The Yankees beat the Halos last night 3-2 to secure the seventh straight series win. They are now 8-2 in their last 10 games and hold a 7-game lead over the Tampa Bay Rays in the American League East. The Carlos Rodon last night proven Yankees have another ace on their hands. As we talked about, if you saw my video from earlier this morning, 1A, 1B right now with Max Fried and Carlos Rodon. When you add, just to add Garrett Cole in the mix, yes, he's out, this season, but he is still our ace. But Max Fried was brought here, doing crazy things right now. Max Fried in his own right, but Carlos Rodon with his eighth straight gem last night, really proven, and no walks from the Yankees pitching staff last night. But we'll get right into the injury news and notes. There's a few on the horizon here that Yankees gave us some updates with the injury news and notes. So you might have seen Jazz Chisholm taking some BP down at Somerset. He was going through a full workout. He was going to also be going through a full workout tomorrow, I should say, and he would begin his rehab assignment the end of this week. So, it seems like it's pretty much ahead of schedule. I know, if you'd asked Jazz, he would have been ready for the Dodgers series, but I think he'll be taking his rehab assignment at the end of this week, and he'll be coming back, sooner rather than later. Giancarlo Stanton, we did get some news on Big G. He traveled to Tampa. He'll be taking live BPs off live BPs. He's been using the high velocity traject machine that emulates the pitcher's shapes and movements coming from a pitching machine. And he's been doing that. So is Jazz, getting ready to get going here. But he'll be down in Tampa, getting live at bats, doing game situations, and even running out of the batter's box. So probably about a few weeks away from Giancarlo Stanton's rehab assignment here. And Luis Gil getting ready to throw off a mound Friday. He'll be doing that at Dodger Stadium for the first time since February 28th. Fernando Cruz did travel with the team to Anaheim. He's been on the injured list here since the last time we recorded last week. He threw on flat ground yesterday, and he's scheduled to throw live batting practice today. So we'll probably get an update later on when Meredith's doing her injury updates before the ball game. But Yankees have really been like we said 8-2 in the last 10 games here. Interesting series after sweeping Texas at home. They had the interesting series in Colorado there. Clark Schmidt, really, if you want to say, he's the only since the last go round now. Through the rotation, he's the only starting pitcher kind of not pulling his weight, if you want to say. But he got through 4 innings. The last start, 79 pitches. The game was still tied 1-1. He had 8 strikeouts, but he did get into trouble there. In the 5th, he gave up the leadoff singles. Tim Hill did come in, gave up the runs. They were credited to Clark, but he only lasted 4 2/3. He did take the loss in that start. But to get with the the starting pitches here, Carlos Rodon has really been doing his thing. Let's be real here. The last 8 starts now, he has an ERA of 1.27. The strikeouts have been up. It's his lowest ERA, that 1.27 in his career. So we always will talk about how good he was when he was with the San Francisco Giants before the Yankees signed him. He struggled that first year here with us, and we talk about how we always talk about that. There was his best career year. So far this season, starting to shape out a little differently, I think. And the last 8 games at 1.27 ERA, and let's really talk about the no walks thrown yesterday. He threw 69 strikes, but no walks from any of the pitches. Um, Ryan Yarbrough, I mean, the Yankees got him after being basically cut from Toronto. Ryan Yarbrough has really been unbelievable. More than what we can ask for. Continued his dominance. He had his 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. He's posted a 2.25 ERA since been moving to the Yankee starting rotation here. So Yarbrough, and he just comes at you with a different look. We talk about this day and age, 2025 here. We talk about how so many pitches, high velocity, and Ryan Yarbrough is the complete opposite of that. Complete opposite of the high velocity, but showing he's continuing to show that you don't need it to get it done, and he'll be getting the start next go around against another one of his former teams, the Dodgers, the next series. But Yarbrough has been doing great, just like Will Warren. I mean, it's the for all these guys here for the past few weeks here now, the trend for the starting pitching. Has been all in all pretty good. I mean, we're talking about Will Warren here, top 5 strikeout rate in the American League. Rodon's on that in the majors, I should say. Rodon's on that list as as for the strikeout rate, and Will Warren coming at 30%, Rodon 31%, and this was before his Rodon start last night, so I'm sure that increased a little bit with the 10 strikeouts and the no walks. But on Sunday with the rain shortened game, Will Warren, he had 17 swing and misses on Sunday, and really spinning that sweeper and the fastball. He's just been real precise with his pitching spots, and showing that he belongs here with the big league club, and really proven that he belongs in with this big league rotation, and even starting getting some length into his starts here now. It all comes back to that series, that series against the Athletics. But we'll talk about Max Fried, his major league leading 1.29 ERA. We'll stick with the trend of pitching here, because it's been so good. And Max Fried had a terrific performance. Terrific performance in Colorado. He's now 7-0. I mean, crazy, 7-0. 67 strikeouts and 11 starts with the Yankees, and just been more than what we can ask for. Now, one stat I got on X over here from OptaStats, but really stuck out to me. And now, since the mound was lowered in 1969, there's been 2 major league pitchers that have had 7+ wins, no losses, and an ERA under 1.50 entering Memorial Day. There's been 2. The first was Pedro Martinez in 1997, and then Max Fried this season. So some pretty good company for Max there. Nice little stat. And Clark Schmidt, who's going today here on Wednesday, May 28th. Yankees going for the sweep of the Los Angeles Angels in Anaheim, with the off day tomorrow before the World Series rematch against the Dodgers. But Clark is taking the mound today, and I would expect things to be a little different. Even Clark talked about how he had some issues with some of his stuff with the high altitude of Colorado, which which is a thing. Max Fried, we saw the fastball usage. He was using his fastball, more than he's had been in a while. And let's just see what Clark can do today. We've been 7 consecutive series wins, but there hasn't the Yankees swept the Texas Rangers, but there hasn't really been that many. So maybe a team like the Angels not sweeping the series like they should have against Colorado. This is today let's get a little greedy and X for that series sweep. Want to see Clark join the party of dominance here this go around, just to just to join the party, because that last start in Colorado wasn't definitely not not Clark. So let's see what he got today. Just want to kind of give a shout out here to we talk about the bullpen, how the bullpen has been good, and Mark Leiter Jr. has been really good now. He's only given up runs in 3 of his 25 outings, 22 scoreless outings in his last 15 games. He has posted a 1.93 ERA, which got it down to 2.38 for the season. And just one of those guys in the bullpen, kind of getting the job done. He's like we said, he had a little bit of blips here and there, but 3 out of his last 25 outings. That's the only times he's given up a run. So that's 22 scoreless outings. Devin, just to finish off the trend with pitching, you might have seen my tweet over there, with Luke Weaver, coming in those back-to-back games, giving up his first homer, and Devin gave up his first homer too. The last game, interesting scenario that two of our back end relievers like that, back-to-back games, giving up back to back appearances like that. But giving up the homers. There was Weaver giving up the home run to Moniak, and then yesterday Devin giving up the leadoff home run to Yoan Moncada. Given it's the first homer he surrendered since that Pete Alonso won in the playoffs. But Devin's first homer he's given up. He had 8 consecutive scoreless outings until coming back into that closer role. And with my tweet, I kind of said wouldn't be surprised if Devin kind of quietly took over the closer role here. But you know what? With Weaver proved that he can do it. Last season coming into this season, he had his the back-to-back outings here with the blip. So maybe we'll see Weaves tonight. I know Booney kind of hinted that they could probably they were looking for maybe not using him or trying to get avoid using him. But I guess we'll find out tonight if they have to, if the situation calls for it. We'll see. But I would doubt maybe we'd see Devin tonight again. I don't know, but we'll see how the bowl game plays out. But he was so good, Williams, coming into last night, being inserted back into the closer role, whether or not it was for just for one night, but couldn't still got the save, but it was a shaky outing. There was the out at second that was under review, but Ohapi swinging with 3-0, with that 3-0 count, popping out to Peraza at third, and speaking of Peraza, and that was to end the ball game. But speaking of Peraza, the swing that he put on Hector Neris, and Judge even said it the other night. He said, "Give Peraza a chance to play every day, and good things will happen." So we've even been talking about how he hasn't really been. If only he could hit. I mean, he makes plays at third, plays the position pretty much anywhere. He plays in the infield when he makes web gems and gets the job done with the glove. But making plays that not everyone makes here. But with Peraza, we talk about him, only if he can hit a little bit. In that swing he put on last night, it was a sinker from Hector Neris, and it wasn't like it missed. I mean, to me, it didn't look like it missed. It was just a really good swing, and Peraza put a charge to it over Matthew Lugo's head to center field. And just like Judgy said, give him a chance to play every day. Good things will happen. So let's see here. If only that bottom of the order, you got Wells, Wells, I say, Wells and Peraza at the bottom of the order, just two guys that you want to see just, start to hit a little bit more, and the signs are starting to come here. Definitely, the signs are definitely starting to come. Goldie and Volpe have been raking of late. Belly is starting to show some consistency, while you see Dominguez is losing, some consistent playing time. There's still, still seeing a lot of Trent Grisham going with the defense, but Trent coming kind of back down to reality a little bit here from that really, that hot, crazy hot start that he had, but still plays an elite defense in center field. Just would like, with Dominguez, he had the walk off the other, the other night at home against Texas. It would just, be nice to see a little bit more Dominguez, but in the outfield, because that one route he did took, or even if they DH him, but see more consistent playing time from Dominguez. I mean, just if he's not getting the consistent playing time, he's not going to get better per se. I mean, that one route he took on the ball, they said it was a 40% catch probability, but he some of the points in the outfield, it just kind of looks ugly a little bit there. Just would like to see some more consistent playing time from Dominguez, and there was, if you haven't seen it, Brian Cashman was on MLB Network Radio. Now we have DJ LeMahieu coming back. Well, DJ LeMahieu being back, and been playing second base, more second base than third than anything. But Jazz working his way back. Will Jazz be what's the situation going to be when Jazz comes back? Because it's going to be coming up soon. Will we see Jazz move over to third, back over to third like he was last year? He's going to stay at second. Will LeMahieu move to third? I mean, we're going to find out here. But what Cashman said on MLB Network Radio was pitching, pitching, pitching. He will be viewing the market for starters and relievers. And you know what? The way the starters have been doing now, as of right now, today, you look at it like, yeah, they've been performing good, but things can change from now till the trade deadline. But as of right now, it's looking good. But the Yankees, when you just look at the roster, like one injury away of changing things a little bit. So that's when yeah, it's May 28th here now. The deadline is July 31st. Few months away, but it'll come quicker than you know it. But just looking at it right now, Cashman was talking about how they need, he's looking at a third baseman, preferably right-handed hitter. You can always look to add more pitching, and I'm sure they will. But as of looking right now, you're probably saying that they probably could use another relief pitcher, and I'm sure when the time comes, they'll see what the situation is then at that time. Like we always talk about, injuries work themselves out, things happen, but they're just really really going to be aggressive in that market for a right-handed hitting bat. And just to touch on it, you might have seen my post. I talked about Bo Bichette. Now Bo Bichette, not saying he should replace Anthony Volpe, because I didn't say that. I look at it as just a hypothetical of Bo Bichette being a free agent after the season, and it's the end of May here. We're creeping into June, and the Blue Jays, kind of struggling a little bit. When we get to July, if there's a chance to possibly, get a player of the liking, and ability of Bo Bichette, could there be a chance that, like Jazz, like when they acquired Jazz last year, played a position that he's, not used to doing? To just I'm thinking of before even thinking of the position of what he plays, just right-handed bats that would be worthwhile, that if and when they become available, who'd be interested. And I'm a fan of Bo Bichette. I think you know I think he's one of those players that would be able to thrive in this type of setting here. With the Yankees, I know it would only be a rental. He's going to be a free agent. I'm not saying the Yankees should sign him and make him a long term solution. We're not looking at that, because if you told me tomorrow that George Lombard would be getting called up by the time July 31st came around to play third base, that thought of Bo Bichette would be completely gone, and wouldn't be an afterthought. Just being honest with you guys. But there are two hypothetical situations that are highly unlikely, but you never know, could happen. And when the time comes, when we get there, we will see. There's different type of players also, that could become available. And then the name like Bo Bichette kind of jumps out at you, because of who he is and the all-star caliber type of player that he is with Toronto. But then you have guys like the names of and these are good ball players, but not in the same likeness of Bo Bichette. But you can have a guy from Cincinnati. There's a few guys on Cincinnati that probably could be on the move if and made available. One, third baseman, right-handed hitter Santiago Espinal, who I even think he's still searching for his first homer on the season, but he's been hitting pretty good, and like a pitcher like Nick Martinez. But then you get into, and I don't want to get too crazy into trades, but just to finish it off here, you get into names like Santiago Espinal, Ramon Urias from the right-handed infielder from the Baltimore Orioles. Just the throwing two names of guys out there that would probably be realistic options, looking trade deadline options. But then you start to think, now, are they that much better than what we have right now with Oswald Peraza? Now, you see, the way Peraza can play the position, if he only could start hitting, and he showed, that was that one swing last night on the sinker, more of that. If Peraza can do more of that, then we won't be talking, at the trade, around the trade deadline. But, if you ask me, names of, I think of players that are going to be on the move, and why not the Yankees being on it? And we'll just say, players I think that, will be on the move come trade deadline. Bo Bichette's one. Could he play a different position? I know, fielding wise, his arm wouldn't probably portray that greatly to third base here, but we're, just talking hypotheticals, and, why not? But, just to finish off on, we got time till the trade deadline, and I'm sure Cashman said pitching. The Yankees are definitely going to be looking to add pitching, and we're still early here now. In about, I would say, the next few weeks or so, the trade deadline pieces that are on the horizon will start to show themselves here, and we'll really get a good idea of what the market would probably be looking like. But right now, Yankees just got to worry about keep rolling, keep winning ball games here, keep winning series, and maybe let's see if we can get this sweep today versus the Angels against our old friend from the Blue Jays, Yusei Kikuchi, and Yankees with the off day tomorrow. They'll be going into L.A. Going from Anaheim to L.A. to play the Dodgers. Now there'll be no. I was looking through the schedule and realized that there's no day games now till Sunday, June 15th. All the Yankees games are pretty much going to be nighttime games. So the next day game is Sunday, June 15th at Fenway. And from now till then, we have 3 off days in between. The off day tomorrow, and then there's two Mondays off. But Yankees taking on the Dodgers. Clash of the Titans, if you want to say the first interleague first place matchup, World Series rematch. We have and just works out that Max Fried. Now I got these the probables I was looking at ESPN, so because the MLB app didn't have all of them, and I was just trying to look to see before trying to figure it out on my own. So I took them from ESPN. These are the pitching probables. We have Friday night, and that game will be on Apple TV. Max Fried versus Tony Gonsolin. Fried 7-0 with the 1.29 ERA, taking on the right-handed Tony Gonsolin, 2-1 with a 4.6 ERA. On Saturday, the Fox primetime game, that will be Will Warren taking on Landon Knack. So we'll see two young right-handers. So let's see what type of game that's going to be. I mean, Will Warren's last outing was cut short in Colorado, so really this will be a true test now for Will Warren against this lineup. And I never the pitching matchups for the Dodgers. You got Gonsolin, we're going game one against Fried, Warren versus Landon Knack. And then Sunday night on ESPN, we got Ryan Yarbrough versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Now, Yoshi's 6-3 with a 1.97 ERA, and Yarbrough 2-0 with a 3.06 ERA, coming off his real nice start against the Angels. And Yamamoto, we know what he can do. So it's three righties coming up, for the Yankees here going into LA. Now Gonsolin and Knack, Landon Knack, the youngster. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's when it comes to a pitcher matchup. These guys the Yankees aren't used to seeing. So because you've seen the first three innings against Kashowitz, the Angels starting. You just see these young guys. The Yankees sometimes just struggle here and there a little bit, but it's going to be a premier matchup. The lineups, both lineups. Maybe we'll see a lot of offense. Maybe we'll see some pitches duels. But I know we're going to see primetime matchup, and it's going to be a fun weekend. We'll see. But today, even before we fast forward to the weekend, I'm really interested to see what Clark Schmidt does. You'll be hearing a lot about Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. Shohei just overtook the home run lead. He had that homer the other night in Cleveland, but it's going to be a great matchup. But just real interesting with the Yankees. No day games till June 15th. So just keep an eye out. All those primetime games. Friday night, Apple TV. Remember that. But Yankees taking on the Dodgers should be a fun one, and really hoping for Clark to really show us something today. And we'll hopefully Peraza is back in the lineup at third, and we see him more swings like he put on Hector Neris. Just really want to see some more thump. To be honest, it's more thump out of the bottom of the order. The Yankees, have been playing great baseball here, but you want to see some more length throughout the lineup, because as of right now, you see the top of the order doing their thing, the guys in the middle doing their thing, and then you see, it looks like, it comes down to, being realistic about it. You get some, weaker links at the bottom, and you want to just see some more out of it. I mean, Austin Wells, quietly struggling a little bit here at the plate. We're not really seeing, the Austin Wells, the type of hitter that we, know the type of hitter that he is. I mean, I know LeMahieu just came back here, but you want to see some more consistency. The days Jorbit Vivas has been playing. He had the homer the other night. When he's playing, he had the homer the other night. He plays the position defensively, fine. That's not the issue. It's just, not seeing the consistent hits. And the bottom of the order can't be a weak link. Everyone got to be, working in unison, and want to just see more from whoever it is in the 7, 8, and 9 spots. So that's all we always ask for. I just want to see more from the bottom of the order. Judgy's doing this thing back over 400. Bellinger, like we said, being more consistent here. Ben Rice. It's going to be a great problem the Yankees have when Giancarlo's working his way back here. Ben Rice with his 11th homer, just hitting the ball, harder than ever each and every time out. Let's see how Clark does today. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Enjoy the ball game tonight. Clark Schmidt versus Yusei Kikuchi. I'll talk to you guys. God bless. And as always, go Yankees.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Beat of the Bronx, a Yankee podcast. You can follow Russ on all social media platforms using the handle at NYYankeeDad. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.